Hey, what's up, guys? It's Bill the Universe, and today we're doing Adam Driver. So I'm doing Adam Driver because honestly, he's so aggressive and he's so intense. But also, I just find him very attractive. So we're gonna do Adam Driver. Um, but the other thing is that I wanted to do something different. I wanted to flex my skills, and I didn't look at his chart yet, so this is going to be my first time looking at his chart. I pulled it up, but I closed my eyes when it loaded. So here we go. Adam Driver, where is it? Here it is. Adam Driver was born November 19th, 1983 at 12:34 in the morning, 12:34 in the afternoon at Fontana, California, USA. Okay. So I see he is a Dhanishta ascendant. He's an Aquarius ascendant, Scorpio sun, Aries moon. Okay. So his moon in Aries, every time someone's moon is in Aries, I tell you, they are the firstborn. So I would bet my bottom dollar that he is the firstborn of his siblings. What do I know about him? I know he's really tall, and that he was in the military, and that he comes across as very intense, in my personal opinion. So is there anything here that indicates military? Yes, there is. His ascendant is in Aquarius, which is specifically the star of Dhanishta. Okay? Dhanishta is Mars amplified. Is Mars at its most highest peak, right? So this is an excellent soldier. And actually, a lot of celebrities have this placement, Dhanishta. There was a study done recently, and this star, men who have their sun, moon, or ascendant in this star of this certain star within Aquarius, they are actually very handsome. So he's a very handsome person, and it's no wonder because he's got his ascendant in Dhanishta. Like I said, the Mars represents Dhanishta. And Mars is your sexual passion, your energy, your drive, and it's the actual warrior within. So that actually makes sense that he was in the military. Also, it makes sense why he's so handsome, because he kind of represents that soul, that he kind of represents literally that shoulder. Ugh, soldier. He is an Aries moon, specifically the star of Botany. And it's in the fourth. That's why he's so fucking intense. So he's got an Aries moon, which already makes him combative. It already makes him kind of selfish. It already makes him very confident, very sexy, goes after what he wants. Like Botany, and Mars in general, Aries in general is just a very confident placement. It's a very good placement for getting things done, for being rich, for being first, and for being a winner. But it also makes you a little bit selfish. Now, Bharani is a Venus-ruled star, so it does make him very beautiful. Again, so his Dhanishta Aquarius ascendant makes him very handsome and manly, but his Bharani star ruling over his moon actually makes him like a beautiful person. But the thing is, when it's in the fourth pada of Scorpio, that's double Mars energy. So he's an Aries moon, but then he's in the fourth pada of Scorpio. So, and Bharani, which is the star within Aries that he's under, is already a violent star. In fact, many Eastern civilizations have called this group of stars very violent and inauspicious. So this person would definitely be good in the military. This is a very intense person, super intense. Then on top of that, we have his sun in Scorpio, in Vishaka, in the fourth pada. Okay, that is Jupiter. So then that's Cancer. Okay, so then that's interesting because Sun is, even though he's even though he has like an intense way of conducting himself and expressing himself, the fact that it's in the fourth pada of Cancer kind of suggests that he actually is a very committed person to family. He's a very family-oriented person. He could also be really interested in the home, building his security, building his family. He might make a really devoted father, actually, because Vishaka is a very, very rich person. This is the star within Scorpio. He's a very rich person. He's a very giving person. He's a very forgiving person. It's like someone who's really, really like intense and violent and kind of nutty, but then he has this like really extremely incredibly giving side. Um, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So he's got his Mars and Venus in the eighth house of death. Again, another major indicator of violence or like just being in the military, something like that. Eighth house is the house of death, of conflict, of anything related to like dark matters, and also it rules money and unseen things. So it could mean occult matters, but it could also just mean oil, minerals, stuff like that. Things literally unseen, right? That you have to dig up. But anyway, his Mars is in the eighth house, and that's very violent. That means he probably might have seen a lot of death when he was in overseas, or he might have dealt with a lot of something, you know. And he's got his K2 in Scorpio. His South Node is in Scorpio, specifically Jeshta. This is wow, and he's got Mercury in Scorpio and Jupiter in Scorpio. Wow, this is a very spiritual person, and this person has seen a lot in his life, and he has like a really, really intense lifestyle. This gives him, because it's heavy Scorpio in his chart, heavy Scorpio in his chart. He will have dark looks. He'll kind of wear his sexual energy on his sleeve. This is typical Scorpio male. He'll have brooding looks. Him being very tall, I'm trying to find where that would be that actually makes him so big. The only thing I can think of is the fact that his sun is in Scorpio, but it's the star of Vishaka, and Vishaka is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is very big. Jupiter blesses you with either money or wisdom or riches or size. So, for example, Taylor Swift has her Jupiter in the first house of identity, and makes her very tall, right? So, him having his sun in Vishaka being ruled by Jupiter, this could be a reason why he's very tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's got his sun, Mercury, Jupiter, and K2 in the 10th house. So this makes him a very artistic person. This makes him very multi-talented at actually a lot of different things. He could actually be in a lot of different jobs. He could do a lot of different careers. He has a lot of options. He's a very smart person, and it shows like in his persona that he's a very smart person, very versatile person, and it shows that he's artistic too, because 10th house is like kind of like fame, and Mercury and Sun here. Mercury is an artistic person, is very multi-talented, and Sun is egotistical. Leo is the natural ruler of the Sun. Well, actually, Sun is the natural ruler of Leo, and so this is a showman, an actor, sitting in the house of fame, of the house of karma. And K2, its South Node is sitting here in the 10th house. South Node is like a weird person. They stick to them. They're like bluntly true to themselves. And the fact that he has so much Scorpio in his chart, and the fact that he has K2 or South Node in his 10th house, this kind of suggests that he's very stubborn about who he is. And even if he comes across as crazy, like he comes across as really weird and out there and one of a kind, but you know what? Who cares? That's who I am. And the fact that he has Jupiter in the 10th house also could be a reason why he's so big. He might have a very, very intense sexuality as well, with Mars and Venus being in the 8th house. His girlfriends are, it's like really intense, wild sexual relationships. It's really intense relationships. He might have had girlfriends that have died, or have had abusive relationships with girls, like where they hit him, stuff like that. Or he could be kind of violent himself. This is a very like intense kind of like very like in your face blood like hot, yeah. Oh, okay, but his eighth house is in Virgo. Okay, so that means that even though it's intense relationships, if you're gonna mix a Virgo and Scorpio, you know what kind of girls you get? You get girls who are like working in the ER, or who are working like around death, who are working in the military. In the military, so he might have had he might have had lovers that he met in the military originally, because eighth house is death, but it's in Virgo, and Virgo is the servant. So what happens when you mix Mars, the warrior, and servitude and death? You get military. You get working in the hospital. You know what I mean? Working as a doctor. This guy should probably marry like a nurse or a doctor or a military person. What else? He is very manly, and a lot of women really like him. This would be like a kind of alpha male, like template. Very good at business, very fair, very calm. It knows how to do what's diplomatic and what's fair and what's right for everyone. And his 10th house is in Scorpio. So then, like I said, the 10th house is the house of fame, it's the house of karma, it's the house of public display. So if he's got his 10th house in Scorpio, everyone sees him as this dark, intense person. This dude is so heavy Scorpio. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. He's got his Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter, and South Node in Scorpio. Then he's got Mars and Venus in his 8th house. This is heavy, heavy, heavy fucking Scorpio. That's heavy Mars. Then his ascendant is in Dhanishta, which is ruled by Mars. I mean, this is really, 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 really like intense person. But his moon is in the 3rd house. So this gives him a lot of speaking ability. This gives him great networking abilities. This gives him a real artistic streak. This is actually a really artistic person. You know who this person could play? A really good... you know who this person should play? This person should play Nero. He could do that. He could for sure do that. And just to let you know, the number 1, 2, 3, 4 is an angelic number. And he was born on 12:34 p.m. So I think that's pretty interesting. This is actually no wonder I'm fascinated by this person. It's a fascinating chart. Heavy Scorpio, man. Heavy Scorpio. That means heavy heavy violence, heavy money, heavy sex, heavy transformation, heavy intense all over, man. Intense. He's naturally an intense person. His South Node is in Scorpio. He's naturally an intense person. He's just on edge. A lot of restless energy. And I do wish the best for him as far as his mental health, because a lot of Scorpio can be a little bit detrimental. Because it's a water sign and it's already so like emotional anyway. And the more Scorpio you're packing onto it, just the worse. And the 8th house is such a sensitive house. The best thing that comes out of all of this is that it does change. Let's see, hold on. That turns to Cancer. That turns to Scorpio. Damn. Okay. That turns to Scorpio as well. I was looking at his Navamshas. He's gonna be intense his whole life. His whole life is gonna be on edge. What? What'd you say? Like, I guarantee you. Anyway, the older he gets, he will come across as softer, because his Navamsha and his sun sign is Cancer, so he will come across like as nicer, more of a father figure as he grows older. But even when he's older, still in the house behind closed doors, he's still going to be a fucking intense Scorpio. All right, that's enough. Bye.